Hey everyone, Raw Dog Gory, Akanafu again, and as per my topic of the awesome benefits of raw foods, I'm going to talk about one of my experiences that I've had with raw foods, and that's with disappearing scar tissue and practically totally disappearing scars. Now, this is a side effect of raw foods, if you want to call it a side effect. I'd say it's a hell of a good effect of raw foods that, I've heard of, but wasn't really of interest to me because although I'd had some pretty funky scars on my leg from two different injuries I had as a child and a teenager, wherein a big nasty cyst grew on my femur, ate the bone, this is when I was 8 years old, slipped on a mound of ice and totally broke my femur. Just, all right, and the doctor said this could have happened stepping out of bed. Lovely thought when you're 8 years old, right? I know. And, during the surgery, after they did their incisions and did all their cutting and fixing and mending and all that good stuff, there was this huge nasty gash in the side of my leg with a pin sticking out of it, and that was like that for a couple months, actually around 3 months during my healing process. And after they removed that pin, there was this big funky indented scar, and it was really crazy looking, but being a kid, I didn't care. I thought it was cool, you can go around, tell everybody, show it off, like, haha, I got that in a knife fight, all that good stuff, no big deal. Then when I was 16, this cyst grew back again, but luckily, my femur had also grown, so the cyst, instead of totally fracturing the leg, was only able to nibble away a little bit of the bone and cause a fracture. Now for this operation of removing the cyst the second time around, they did this really long incision and did it with more modern techniques and put these little butterfly staples in there, and it didn't look all too bad, not as glorified as the other one, but boom, right alongside it. Now these scars didn't bother me. They're in kind of an unobtrusive place. Hell, it ruined my underwear model career, but what are you gonna do? So I just tend to not think of these things because they're just on the side of my leg. They're not out in the open. I don't see them every day. Got into raw foods, doing my thing with raw foods for about, I'd say, a year to a year and a half. When all of a sudden one day I was getting out of the shower, I was toweling off, and I noticed that my scars were felt like they weren't there as much. So I went and checked it out, and sure enough, my scars had faded to less than about 30% or 50% of what they were. And it was ridiculous. So I did some research on this, and I found that many of the compounds in raw foods, such as sulfurs and silica, help break down scar tissue and help our skin, our body regenerate new tissue, especially with enzymes, as they help in the all the chemical reactions that need to take place in our body to regenerate our tissue. I figured out that this could only have been a result of my raw food experiences because I've had no improvement with these scars prior to that. And although unfortunately I don't have any before pictures to show you because I never thought I'd really want to be showing off my scars, let me show you what now, this being about 3 years, actually, yeah, 3 years since I started my raw food journey. Let's show you what these nasty scars have diminished to. Check it out. And see this long one right here? Go ahead and touch that, Amanda. Check that out. This thing was probably about a 1/4 inch deep of solid tissue, and it was bright purple.
Yeah, I can barely see it. I mean, I can see it, but it's a lot less.
Isn't that wild? And this one here, this was the really nasty one.
This one used to be disgusting. Like, when I touched it, it was hard as a rock, and now it just feels like regular flesh.
I just noticed that recently, too, that it seems like it's getting even softer, and it used to be sunken in, like puckered into my leg, and it was like I could literally grab it and move around this lump of solid tissue, this scar tissue.
But it all feels normal now. It's actually quite amazing.
And I'm just psyched up to see, where this can go in the future. Like, how much can these go away? And, how much can scar tissue be reversed by adding more enzymes, sulfur, silica, and all the other wonderful goodies that are in raw foods back into our diets? So, if you have any stories like this, or if you know of any people who are experiencing similar benefits, I want to hear about it because this totally blew my mind. In fact, a while back when I first noticed this, I did write kind of an extensive blog post about it, and some people have been giving me really great feedback about it, telling me how it helped, inspire them that they might be able to reverse some scar tissue issues that they're having by adding more raw foods into their diet. So definitely check that out, and let me know what you think. Peace out.